Hello out there. My name is Laolu Akonde, and you are on to Inside Sources. And here is my take for today, entitled Who Will Tell the President, Part 10. Let us start today on issues of internal security. Who will tell the president that with all the efforts we must acknowledge that he is imputing, the virulence and severity of banditry, insurgency, kidnapping, and ransom demands continues to weigh heavily on communities in this country and citizens across the country? Who will tell the president not to forget that media reports suggest that ransom payments linked to abductions has reached 2.5 billion naira across more than 4,700 cases last year alone? Who will tell the president that? Please, the people who have the ears of Mr. President must do us the favor of reminding him that beyond statistics here, we are talking about real families, real citizens suffering intensely, and our institutions coming under several types of dysfunctionalities and considerable strain. Someone has to tell the president he needs to do more, drastically more, urgently more. For instance, who will tell the president of the Kaduna military doctor's case, a particularly troubling case that involved a Kaduna-based military doctor and her husband who were abducted from their residence within a military base? An initial ransom of 50 million naira was raised through family and public support. After several months in captivity, the husband was released, but further demands followed, eventually bringing the total ransom raised in that particular case to 100 million naira. Who will tell the president that even after all of that, the doctor remained in captivity for many months until pressure mounted and mounted, including a national strike by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors and a direct intervention from the office of the NSA? And then one more issue. Who will tell the president that his deafening silence on the intervention of the Americans in the help to fight terror, culminating in the Christmas Day bombing, that is the launching of Tomahawk missiles in Sokoto State, his silence is not very noble? For 3 months now, not a word from our number one national leader on whose mandate all of us are standing. Who will tell the president that his refusal to communicate with Nigerians on an unprecedented incident like that is itself a noiseless bang, a silent detonation? Yes, we have to be vigilant and we have to be careful in all of those, but someone needs to tell the president that if he takes the Nigerian people seriously enough, this is not an issue that he can afford to remain silent or to outsource what should be his own direct personal communication with Nigerian people to his aides. We need to hear from him. The fact is that we can report today on Inside Sources that the president has been advised by others, some of his aides and outside people, to carefully navigate himself around the US President Donald Trump. And the president has taken the advice. Now, some of the advisors, like I said, formal and informal, some of them have spoken with us, and their concern is that Mr. Trump sometimes becomes bombastic and engages in testy communication with world leaders. Now, we have seen it in the Trump White House when the president of the United States was tongue-lashing the president of Ukraine, Mr. Zelensky, and also the testy exchange between President Trump and South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa. So we understand that. But who will tell the president that there is a need for a much more nuanced approach at a time like this? In any case, how can our president remain silent on such an extraordinary event unfolding before our eyes? Who will tell the president, just in case he's not aware, that the recent U.S. airstrike in Sokoto State that targeted ISIS-linked terrorists have sparked a debate on Nigeria's sovereignty, on our ability on our own to manage our security. And the president is silent. And given the gravity of the situation, shouldn't the president say something to those who are wondering about the implications so that he can reassure us? But there hasn't been any direct communication from the president. Now, while we are still on issues of communication, who will tell the president that some of his appointees need basic grooming in the act of public speaking? That they don't have to be jumping all over the place excitedly because of the glamour of international media platforms. Besides, who will tell the president that when his aides must speak, even the goals of propaganda, they are rear-ended and messed up by outright open dishonesty? Somebody needs to tell the president that. We can understand the new ambassador designate, Reno Omokri, who says the president is magnanimous and has overlooked the critical things that he said in the past about him. Reno says he now has superior information and he uses that to explain his support of the president whom he had sought to derail in the past. Reno did not quite outrightly deny critical things he said in the past, and he openly confessed that he has changed his assessment. People can understand that. You can imagine that. But who will tell Mr. President that for one of his appointees to openly deny what is on record so brazenly on an international media platform, that is so uncool, especially when no one forced the appointee to do the interview? Why it's a win-win for the president, anything his former political foes says now, that they are on his side, and at least he has won them over away from his political opponents. That means whatever they say, they are now with him. Someone needs to let the president know that it's a poor reflection on all of us as a people who are otherwise known to be globally excellent, when you have his own appointees messing up on the global media. Who will tell the president to rein in some of his appointees to at least adopt the decency that he often shows in his own public speaking? That's the least that he ought to do. Let those who have the ears of the president be telling him that, like he always say, that is the president himself, including recently when he met media executives, he asked for the job, so nobody should spare him the criticisms, okay? And because we know that he has the boldness and the political acumen to sort himself out, what we are asking the president now is that he should also sort Nigerians out. That is the cry, Mr. President. Someone should help us tell the president. We need him to use his political acumen to sort Nigeria out. And there you have it. Inside Sources will be right back. Welcome to Inside Sources. Today, I am leading the show with a conversation with somebody that is believed to be one of Nigeria's most trusted retired military general, General Ishola Williams, who was the commandant of the Training and Doctrine Command. After he left, he also became the representative of Transparency International in Nigeria and is currently the executive secretary of PANAFSTRAC. I'd like to welcome back again to Inside Sources, General Ishola Williams, retired. General, good to see you again.
As long as I'm there, I always like to see people.
All right, sir. I want to start today with an opinion that I have. I wanted to get your take on it. Since December 25, when the U.S. sent Tomahawk missiles to Sokoto to help us in the terror fight, the president has not personally spoken about it or spoken about some of the support that the Americans are giving us, intelligence equipment, 200 military advisors. As a general, would you think that this president ought to talk to the country when something that is so unprecedented like that happens?
You know, one gets tired of talking about political military issues in Nigeria because the whole thing to me was a joke. United States came all the way 8,000 miles away. They kept a boat in Ghana and started firing missiles at Nigeria. The missile was supposed to be in Sokoto. It fell in Kwara, destroying some people's houses. Till today, nobody has shown us the picture of any of the so-called bandits and criminals that were killed. Nobody till today. And nobody has even confirmed it too. Okay? Now, they now brought in they said about 100 or 200 special forces. These special forces are here. Where are they? What are they doing? What intelligence are they giving us? Within 1 week, how many soldiers were killed in Borno? Including 2 commanding officers and 1 major. In any country in the world, the chief of army staff will resign, the GOC will go, and the brigade commander, they will all leave.
Because of that kind of attack?
Because of that attack. Within 2 days. Within 2 days. So, if the Americans are here to give you intelligence, which you, with all the system you have developed over 60 years, cannot get enough domestic intelligence, and you need somebody from outside to do that for you, you need to examine your head now. You need to examine your head, that there must be something wrong with you. In addition to that, what are these special forces here for? Are they to help us fight Boko Haram? Are they here to train? What are they here for? Just tell me. Now, one time they said they brought equipment to Borno and everything. And the soldiers, from what I read, were complaining that they were asking for some particular equipment they could not get. So, Boko Haram ISWAP, or whatever name they call those bloody fools, overran that place, took ammunition, took equipment, burned vehicles. The interesting thing also is that I also read recently too, the president said it's going to buy them more weapons. When they are burning the weapons, 2, he approved for them to recruit more people. The soldiers are running away and you are recruiting more people. Won't you like to find out why are they running away before you are recruiting people to come and run away again? Is anybody thinking in the old system? Is anybody thinking? People laugh at us, you know, as a military. We have lost completely our reputation. Actually, our NSA, that guy does not know what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. But to a great extent, when you compare the action of Soludo in Anambra recently, on the issue of public safety or sitting, and compare to what our president is doing, Soludo should become the president of Nigeria.
Okay, what happened specifically?
He stopped the sitting in Anambra.
Is what?
Sitting by IPOB. Onitsha people say they will not go to market. He said, you don't want to go to market? Okay, I will close the market for you now.
Okay.
With the support of security agencies, not only in Onika, everywhere in Anambra State. Those who are saying that you are not going to go to market, you are going to observe sitting. He says, okay, I will make you sit permanently. He succeeded. That is the political military decision that is required. Then, when you look at another good example is this. The president has been talking about state police.
Yes.
Hegbetokun was trying to do it his own way. He removed him now.
Yes.
This has come. This will set up a committee. It is not the business of this to set up a committee. This is a presidential decision that require the Presidential Committee to work out the plans and programs for that decision. This is just an Inspector General of Police. It's not the political authority. It's not, and it's not his business. In fact, if somebody is going to work it out, it should be police commission.
Okay.
It should be police commission or the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Or the Minister of Police Affairs.
Yes. Nobody cares about police affairs anyway. But they are there.
They are there.
Yes, but nobody cares about them. If you ask Alfred Nadia, who is the Minister of Police Affairs, they don't know him.
Yeah, I can't even remember.
Exactly.
Guys.
Nobody knows.
I know that Imran, Madam Imran was the Minister of State for Police.
But nobody cares. And what is interesting also is that the police too, they are very funny people. The military keeps running after bandits and criminals in Kwara, Kogi. Soldiers are being killed in Borno. Which one is the priority for the soldiers? Run after criminals or taking care of the insurgency in the Northeast? Which one is the priority?
It should be the insurgency.
Thank you. Do they understand that? That is what President Bola Tinubu's decision is supposed to take. And say, hey, military, face the insurgency, police.
Face the criminals.
And I've been saying that Mopol should be taken away from the police and become the federal paramilitary force. That's what Mopol was created for. So if you now have Mopol, a federal paramilitary force, they face the criminals and the bandits. The military will face the Northeast. Okay. And I want to say, the case of IPOB, you don't even need the military at all. It's a political issue. It's a political issue. The one in the South is not insurgency. It's a secessionist movement. And I remember I went to Enugu. People were surprised when I said that. And they said, what's the difference between insurgency and secessionist? A secessionist movement wants to separate because of
political issues.
Thank you. Because of political marginalization. So what you need to do is to sit down with them and say, okay, what are the political issues now? Let us solve. You don't need to do all these things and sort it out. Once you don't do that, then of course you have extreme violence. That's what's going on in the Southeast. Okay? Insurgency, they want to take over the state. Now, what's also interesting is that, which I find very funny, and our imams and bishops should be able to answer, including you as a redeemed pastor. See, Boko Haram says they want to create a caliphate. Caliphate is for what? It's to create establish theocracy.
Yeah.
Theocracy is in the name of who? In the name of Allah. Borno State, after they have abducted 300 people, killed soldiers, and things like that, the man said they should be praying. So I now ask a simple question.
The man being the governor.
The governor. If people are fighting you with guns and prayers to create a state for God, and you are praying to the same God to stop them, who will the God hear? Who will God? Nobody has been able to answer me. Maybe as a pastor you can answer me. Who will the God hear? Who will Allah hear? The whole thing appears to be a joke. People read about us, and most of the things you read about what's really happening, you read from outside newspapers or outside news, Al Jazeera and co. That's what you read. It looks as if they are bribed, except for Sahara reporters, they have bribed our media here. So you don't see anything. You know what the media keeps reporting? They have neutralized 20-something and released 40 people that have been abducted. Is that the job of the soldiers? all over the place. In fact, maybe we have the greatest number of consultants in the world for PR. And everybody will just set up online newspaper, everything, and so on and so forth, you know? And what are they reporting? If you open your WhatsApp, you see so many news, something. Everyone repeating each other.
Yeah. Okay, so now, so you have created a scenario that says that the National Security Advisor doesn't seem to know what he's doing. Even the military commanders are not up to par. If you had the attention of the president in these circumstances, what do you think he should do at this point?
First of all, he should sack the NSA.
He should sack the NSA.
And look for somebody who is strategically educated, trained, and exposed. The present one does not. And the Americans know. They know. They know. Because many of our officers have gone to their, defense institutions.
Right.
And they know the good ones and the bad ones. This one has not gone anywhere, except to fight corruption. Okay. So it's totally unfit for the position he's holding. Number two is this. Our intelligence and counterintelligence system, especially counterintelligence system, is not working. Because if it is working, how can Boko Haram attack military bases within few days of each other? And soldiers had to run away. We have Defense Intelligence Agency.
They didn't see it coming.
Intelligence Agency. Each service has intelligence agency. SSS, or what they call themselves now, DSS, Intelligence, Domestic Intelligence. We have NIA, and so on and so forth. Each customs, immigration, civil defense, all of them have intelligence department.
Police.
Thank you. I wanted to mention that. What are they doing? And all these people that are mentioning, they are down up to local government level. How come the Boko Haram gets more information that they have? Which means that the people that are being recruited into all the security agencies, there are moles for Boko Haram, ISWAP, and some of this. Now, you also find too that these bandits and criminals now are so bold, they write letters now
to communities that we are coming.
That you are coming. Go and tell the military. They have no respect for us. Above all, sir. Gumi has been saying, without any fear of contradiction, the security agencies, they know the terrorists by name, and they know where they are. He has said so many times.
Yeah.
One time people were saying he should be arrested, and I said, stupid, arrest him for what? SSS called him. Then they released him after some few days.
The man says that, when he goes to negotiate with the terrorists, that he goes with security agencies.
Where in the world, in any country, that somebody can say that? And then the military will now say that the Alakurawa coming from Ibadan. Oh, sorry, Mali. It looks like a joke now. I'm telling you, any serious-minded people will think we're a joke. He has said so many times. So if you have been going with them, and he's still saying that, the governor of Zamfara confirmed that now. He said he has on his phone. He sees the movement. But when they call the security agencies, they don't react. Which was what was displayed in Adakwara or Kogi, where 170-something people were killed. They said they sent the letter to the military. The military said when they come, we do something. Military came, they retreated because they said they were overpowered. Overpowered by who? Why in military? They are in the wrong place, at the wrong time, and doing the wrong job. Train the Mopol, as well as the police. So if our commander of Mopol is very happy, the military continue. People forgot one interesting story. They recruited from Opol. They sent them to Maduguri training center. You know what happened?
Yes.
1 week after, most of the people that were recruited said they did not join the police to come and be in Mopol or to fight in the Northeast. They left the training center. They left.
Mm.
You know, we are just joking. We are just joking. And for the past 15 years, we are just joking. And then we are begging the whole world to come and help us. United States, UK. If Ibadan becomes a country, they will beg Ibadan to come and help them fight terrorism. What sort of country are we? India has been fighting terrorism since 1917. 1917. And it's still going on. But nobody in the world hears. And you know what they did? What they are doing?
Right.
They left the police at the state level to fight the insurgency at the state level. And then also, they allowed the state to create what they call police commando. Okay, you know the meaning of commando,
right.
People. To deal with that. They didn't bring in the military at all. Now, they have a police commando, which is like a Mopol,
right.
at center, independent, not under any police force or anything like that, or IGP. They did that. And they have this crime intelligence and civilian and criminal investigation agency separate.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the state police and state police commando, they tackle the presidency. Now, because they run a federal system, side by side with that, they have a development program that they are doing. At the federal level, they have a permanent constitutional committee in India. And they have managed to solve some of those insurgency problems by amending the constitution.
Mm.
It is three-pronged attack. It does not involve the military at all. Because they are busy preparing against China or Pakistan.
Mm.
You see? Our own, nobody is. People misuse the word security. You use security when you have people who want to come and attack you. Our problem is public safety.
Mm.
And safety means that I can travel around the country without bandits or criminals or anything bothering me. I can travel around my state. I can travel around my local government. I can travel around my community. Okay? And if there's anybody within my community, because I have community policing and state police, I can catch them. If he runs across, you then find the crime intelligence and criminal investigation agency to catch the man for you and send him back to your state for prosecution.
Interesting. Okay, General, very, very exciting conversation as always with you. I'd like to ask you as we begin to conclude, what's your assessment of the return of General Chris Musa, who was Chief of Defense Staff and is now Minister of Defense?
No. That shows that shows a very wrong approach to the whole issue. You don't sack somebody as Chief of Defense Staff and you make him Minister of Defense. Recently, he said one thing that shocked me. What did he say? He said, this insurgents, they always attack during the Ramadan season. The whole Minister of Defense. So if you know that, why didn't you warn the army and the service chief? Prepare though, because these people are going to attack you. They've killed your soldiers. That time you are making the announcement. Anywhere in the world, the president will call him and say, you should go. What does he show? He show, I mean, for a minister to say that people attack during Ramadan season, so don't worry, be happy. You didn't do anything about it. And then, when the thing happened, Bruno, it was announced in newspaper that the CDS is calling a meeting of service chief. And I'm saying that to discuss what? And again, as usual, like during the time of Buhari, President Tinubu called them again. What did he promise them? I'm going to buy you more weapons. I'm going to buy you more weapons. No. They have enough weapons. Some of them are even too sophisticated for asymmetric warfare. And the boys themselves, they know. They know, especially the Air Force. Army has an aviation company. The president says he's going to buy them more. When the soldiers were being killed recently, where was the aviation company? Where was the Air Force? I doubt whether anybody sit down. The Army has a simulation center to simulate tactical operations and things like that and see what's going to happen. They had a workshop. The chief could not attend. You would think that in this present situation, he will be there himself to control simulation and say, how did this thing happen in Borno, that our soldiers were killed? How did they come to attack these bases within 7 days?
That's the Army chief you are talking about.
Yes, the Army chief. We didn't go there. They packed all of them in one place. They said they are doing workshop. They are simulating what? For the past 15 years? And that simulation center has been established for about 2 years now. And they are not getting it right. Now, we have training institutions. Army has a war college, Navy has a war college, and the Air Force has a war college. I've been asking, who are they fighting really? The war they are being taught in those colleges. Right. To fight which war? Boko Haram? You need a college to fight Boko Haram? And we have a National Defense College. We have a Command and Staff College for majors. We have one for captains. So captains, majors, and lieutenant colonel. Right. So what is the war college for now? About? To fight who? Which war are we fighting? Benin, Chad, everywhere. No, none of them can attack us. All these stories that people are coming through the border, like again, our wonderful minister, when he was he said we should build a wall.
Is that a bad idea?
He said we should build a wall on our borders with Niger.
Yeah, I'm saying that, do you think that's a bad idea?
Completely bad idea. There's no wall in military history. There's no wall in military that has not been breached. From China wall to Roman wall, everywhere has been breached. Even to the one in Djibouti. No, Nigeria is a very funny country.
Oh, wow. Anyway, final question, sir. So, we're going to have another general elections, presidential, gubernatorial, National Assembly, State Assembly, in less than 1 year. Do you think Nigerians, or put it differently, do you think that the Nigerian opposition, the way we have it today, do you think they can give the current leaders any run for their money?
But who told you that you have political parties in Nigeria?
Don't we?
There are no political parties in Nigeria. You have political groups with people who have plenty of money, stolen money, looted money, to be the leaders of those parties and ready to use that stolen money. See, I'm looking for a governor or a minister who can beat his chest and say he has never stolen public money. I'm looking for one. Let any one of them take me to court. I'm ready. Let any one of them take me to court if they have not stolen public money. Any minister or governor. This is a country in which we are in an era of primitive accumulation. Like Kamal said, an era of primitive accumulation. Everybody wants to put somebody in a political position now, and he can grab money. You want to grab money to become a member of the House, a representative, and this is a big one, to become a governor. Okay. And then, I'm looking for one president who can tell EFCC ICPC, bring out the facts you know about Nigerians. From Laulu Akonde to your lady there, let him bring out the files about all of us. Let them bring it out. How many people can claim that they've gone through government job and they've never looted one penny or the other? None. None. And it is the money they are using to buy people for voting. Now, in a country where there are political parties, that will not happen. And the example I always give is this, is that, see, there are people like you below the age of 60 down who are in all these political parties, political groups, not parties. And they cannot take over those groups. Why? In other countries, the young ones will get together and say all these old people must go. We have so many parties in Nigeria now that have been registered by INEC. Go and find out. It is these established politicians who want to make sure that the opposition do not win, that are establishing those parties and giving them. And what's happening? When you have a president, which is a very corrupt system, in which the president is also the leader of the party, it's a corrupt system because in that party, nobody can check the president. Even though they have a chair. The president of Nigeria should divorce himself completely from any party and not lead any party. Okay. Actually, when the president is looking for second term, and then said, if I'm looking for second term, I'm standing on that mandate that I'm doing well for Nigeria and they want me. And let the political parties run by the chairman of the party. No, we follow the American system. So the president is also the leader. So the chairman reports to the leader. And then of what use it is. In Liberia, they call them flag bearers. So when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria looks like a joke. It looks like a joke.
Thank you so much, General. It's an ongoing conversation, and your very critical and insightful contributions, are something that challenges the entire system, and hopefully we will keep at it. And
no, once I criticize, I offer some solutions. It depends on people whether they want to take it or not. Absolutely. That's their business. Absolutely. The country is going rotten. Every single person is looking for money in Nigeria. And when you ask Nigerian people, they want more money. What are you producing? Have you ever heard anybody talk about NSC and things like that and talk, oh, you're not paying our workers enough, but they are producing so much for the country? Have you ever heard? Tell me, have you heard people talk about
productivity? Yeah.
That's a productivity commission. Do you know there's a productivity commission? Yes. What are they doing? What did their commission do?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, General. We will keep at it. And I believe that we'll get a break because we won't stop talking. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your courage and your frank comments. And thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Inside Sources will be right back with another segment. Welcome back. In this segment, I'm going to have a conversation on two important things. We're going to start with the U.S.-Israel versus Iran conflict, war, and its implications on Nigeria. And then we're going to talk about the 2027 presidential race, which is, by the way, less than 1 year away. Now, to join me in that State of the Nation review and talking about this big issue in the news of U.S.-Israel-Iran war, I have the former editor-in-chief and former managing director of the Guardian newspaper, who is currently a columnist and a veteran journalist, Mr. Martins Oloja. Mr. Oloja, good to see you again on Inside Sources.
You're welcome.
There was a real trend the last time you came.
Yes.
And it's your first time this year.
Yes.
Let's start with what is happening globally, the war between the Americans and the Israelis on the one hand and Iran. I want you to take us through how you think this has implications for us in Nigeria, especially in the economy where we see the price of crude oil go up and down, and whatever other dimensions. Let's just open the conversation that way.
No, definitely, you know, the way everybody has seen it now that, well, just as I wrote in my Inside Stuff article as part of introduction, I just asked a rhetorical question. What if? Like everybody is worried around the world. Look at the British Parliament. It's like everyday issue about energy, the implication on energy and how the state will have to subsidize whatever, because the citizens are very worried that if this strait of this Hormuz is blocked like that
for a long time,
for a very long time like that, that is going to be a problem, and that the insurance companies, most of them in the United Kingdom, are not ready to insure that risk, and that is the big issue. It's not about the physical passage; it's about the financial implications for insurance companies like that. And no insurance company will want to take that risk, because you can't trust what Iran could do at any moment, because they keep saying that it remains closed and that they have to block that place. So the implications around the world, as one analyst said, is going to be remarkable, and we are going to feel it. Even the people in the developed world are feeling it and they are discussing it.
Right.
But we are going to feel it more here, because, you know, this energy crisis, especially petroleum products, gas and all these things, diesel, the prices have been crushing to us. But now it is going to be, and that's what I asked in the introduction to my article, that what if this Dangote refinery,
if it's not in there,
I don't care at this time. We know that even the prices are still crushing, but it will have been worse.
It will have been worse.
Because people will have been expecting something. Right now, we also will be worried how he will get, if we continue to get crude.
Because it's also getting from abroad.
Yes, most of the time he gets it from abroad. So but then, he will get it from abroad. If he gets it from abroad, he would still, refining it here is going to make some difference.
Absolutely.
It's going to make some difference, and at least it will be available. Even if it's expensive, it will be available. So the implication is still there. And look at, we keep having even disruption in the telecoms process now, that are the telephony. And even you see disruptions everywhere. You know that the diesel, it is still part, these facilities are part of the victims of the energy crisis we have, because the base stations of these telecoms companies may not be able to cope with even the diesel that they buy to power the base stations.
The price for that is also going up.
It's going up. Gas supply, even domestic gas supply and all those things like that, the implications will be grave. But as we keep reading, it's a very small world now. Knowledge is some currency now. Knowledge of, understanding the times. Having knowledge of the times is good for individuals to say, look, you have to find a way of managing this understanding of the times. You manage it individually, but then the implication will still be crushing to everybody, to individuals, to organizations, especially the energy crisis. We have always had even this band A problem there, to the extent that many members of the so-called elite cannot afford to even put on air conditioners 24/7 or even 18 hours. They said they will supply us because
there's no supply for 20. I think it's 20 hours or so.
They said 18 to 20 hours. I've never had anything like that wherever. And they charge. But then it's still going to be crushing for everybody. And what interests me is the link to United Kingdom. I watch Sky News all the time. I don't depend on only one of all these channels. And I see the vibrancy in the parliamentary system, where they get the prime minister to be accountable.
Put him on the spot.
To put him on the spot every hour.
We need that in Nigeria.
We need that in Nigeria. So it is surprising that these things we are discussing here have not touched our parliamentarians. They are talking on only the mandate. They are talking on only 2027 amendment of Electoral Act and all those things. There is no emergency session to discuss how Nigerians could cope, how they will help as representatives of the people to cope with the implications of what we have at this time. So that's my worry. And we also call on people to continue to hold our leaders to account at this time. We should be calling on our legislators, what is going on? When are you going to discuss? How are you going to subsidize operations of people? If you don't care, businesses will die. And these businesses die, this one means loss of jobs of Nigerians. And you know the implication on security. If more and more people lose jobs at this time, insecurity will get another name.
Well, I think you're very right. You know, it's just also that we have very, very serious crisis on our hands.
Yes.
You know, insecurity.
Insecurity, yes.
Big deal. The economy itself is, you know, neither here nor there. You know, quite very testy. But I wanted to ask you. Let's discuss. So, what do you think the governments should be doing in the area of the economy? You know, the economic shocks of this U.S.-Israeli versus Iran war.
No, yes. What the government, including the maybe beginning with the parliament, with the National Assembly and the state assemblies, is the way they are also handling it, even at the Congress, and the way they are discussing the implications at the Congress. What they are bringing out the data every day. This is how much we are spending every day on this thing.
And the Americans are suffering. You know, they call it gasoline.
Yeah, gasoline.
The prices are going up.
The prices are going up. And
past $3.
Yes, past $3. And now
per gallon.
Yes, per gallon. And now we have been discussing this. This is an unfinished business of, oh, subsidy is gone. You know, the implications have been there with us. There will be releasing some figures about people that they are paying every month, that the social security scheme, they said they have been paying some people. But generally, we have not seen any concrete step in the way maybe even the late General Abacha handled it in those days with Petroleum Trust Fund. That nothing has been put in place for the people to be able to absorb the shock. All that we have seen is that we have had more revenue and we are giving more of such revenue to the state governors. And up to yesterday, the last night when the president met with media executives, I was there.
Okay.
And he was still reiterating that the media shouldn't be putting too much pressure on him. As the head of the federal government, they should also be asking questions
from the governor,
and especially the federating units and even the local governments, that they have more money now. They even triple what they have been getting, and they are not owing anybody. The state workers now get their salary. They don't borrow to pay. But how many workers, generally? How many workers?
Compared to the population.
Compared to the population. So the governments at all levels, from federal through state to local government, should be monitoring, should be doing some risk assessment. They should get some experts to do risk assessment reports about the implication of this thing, especially with the kind of purchasing power that we don't have here. And how many people are actually employed? What of the youths? Look at the way people are going into this NYSC. People are coming out. They are churning out more universities. And in other words, we are churning out more graduates. How skilled are the graduates? Even the ones that are skilled, where are the openings? Where are the jobs for them? And if our population, we should study the implications of this exploding population all the time. And the graduates we are producing, even if we have skills now, the industrialization here is very, very slow. We do not, even people setting up any factories or anything, the cost of production has been very, very prohibitive, to the extent that people just depend entirely on China and the Southeast Asia to bring in a lot of. It is easier now, even if you want to organize a birthday party for your children, instead of going to maybe Lagos market or any market to do some things, you just call somebody in China. They bring all those things. Before we know it, now they may be bringing Gary from
and that
from
means
China.
That we are losing, even jobs.
We are losing jobs, and it will be more crushing you will see the implication as this thing has happened now is going to be with us for a very long time. Because even the hitman, President Donald Trump, is not even aware of when this thing is going to end. But he's briefing. But in his own case, he's the one that is prosecuting this thing.
Yeah.
He's briefing the people. Yesterday, he briefed the people. With his with headset, and they were just briefing the people. We felt that we should return to we are in a democracy. We have a bicameral legislature at the federal level, and they drive everything in Nigeria. It's now that the president is beginning to talk concretely about federalism. We are still running a very central government. And we are talking about how to decentralize. Even as we are here now, I believe that at the federal level, even at the state level, the members of the legislature, our own representatives, should be holding meetings at this time, even during the weekends, to discuss the implication for the people. As I was at the reception now, I saw that they were talking of standing on a mandate in Owerri. They were discussing it on the live television. They are not even concerned about what they don't even know what is. They don't care about what is happening in the world. It's a small world now. Whatever is happening
in one place
is reverberating, especially energy system. It's a global market.
It is,
and the implication will be on all the world citizens, not to talk of even Nigeria, where we have been managing so many things, but we deny a lot of realities. We deny reality of this one, reality of genocide, we deny it, reality of inflation, we deny it, Federal Office of Statistics data they use to sometimes to confound the people, and they just use statistics anyhow. To just tell us now that this is exactly what is happening, we are doing well. They should allow some of us from outside the system to tell them that they are doing well.
Exactly. Excellent point. So let's conclude on these implications of the Iran conflict, because I think it's the U.S. Embassy that made a statement that, well, look, we're going to have to close our embassy, and I think they also they've closed the American school here in Abuja. For fear.
And they were still there yesterday. They closed by midday.
That's the embassy.
Yeah, you know, the school.
Okay.
The American school. They still watch the situation like
they
yesterday.
Have very light skeletal service.
Yes, skeletal service, and they closed by midday yesterday as I watched.
So the question is, if the Americans are afraid that Iran, there can be some kind of backlash on them. What they are saying basically is that, there are Nigerians who might want to take advantage, or do you think that they are afraid of an external attack? How do you read that alert, that alarm that they raised?
No, definitely. And I think that if you watch what our people are doing, they may not have been making so much noise. But I think that the security agencies, the armed forces, they are on the alert. Because when you get to the airport, you will see that they are ready to handle any emergency at the airports. And when you get to some places, you will see that they don't take it for granted. Even yesterday, in front of Sedi Plaza, I was answering a call in the night. I think when we returned from the State House, I was in the car. I was answering a call. And because just in front of Sedi Plaza, and I saw that some police just patrol van stopped by my car, and they were very civil. We'll give it to them. They were very civil. They wanted to be sure that the environment was safe, that I was not planning anything. I praised them. I even praised them for being so watchful. And the way they approached me, I wound down, and they spoke with me, and they saw that, well, this is a gentleman, he's a very harmless person, and they left. And you see them all over the place. I think I want to believe that they are doing that all over the country. But at least I saw at the airport, you see you see vans of the military people, police, joint operations everywhere. I believe that they are vigilant. And they don't take it for granted. They believe that anything can happen. You know, this place, what has been happening is even now that they are not demonstrating every day. You see that they have killed people before, even for the other Hebdo, for even a cartoonist doing something as simple as that one, like that. But this time, you did the sect organizing demonstrations all over the place, and I think they have...
they are much calmer.
Yes.
So we will continue this conversation with Mr. Oloja on Friday when we have the concluding part. And there you have it, another edition of Inside Sources. Like we always say, Nigeria will prevail. It means Nigeria will win, partly because we will keep raising the major issues. My name is Laolu Akonde, and by the grace of God, I'll see you at the next edition.